Welcome to our Spain, Poco a Poco. Hi, how's it going?
It's going good, Tanya. You too?
We're doing okay, Gaetano.
You're
Hanging
doing
in there
okay.
over here.
You're doing okay, okay. We're doing okay over here too. I would be doing a lot better if I had something to eat, which leads us to today's episode, which is Coca.
Which interestingly could be a lot of different things. So this was quite fun. I had gone into a patisserie next to where we're staying right now and got a little bit of a history on this. Not a lot, but a little bit on a version of it that I'd never seen before, which
Okay.
opened up the conversation with you of like, how many different versions of Coca are there? And we have no idea, but we're
We have
gonna
no
we're
idea.
gonna give you some.
And I lived here for a couple years before I realized that the thing that I loved and had been eating is called a coca.
Hmm.
And my one of my Spanish friends had been telling me about this thing to have coca. Oh, you should go get a coca. You should have a coca. Several times. And I was like, yeah, I'm not really in the mood for like coconut on anything right now. So like I just
Right?
wasn't
Or Coca-Cola,
or
or I
Coca
mean, it could be
Cola.
so many things, right?
And so then I went to a bakery that actually had a sign in front of it. And it was like coca de asparagus. And I was like, oh, that's the coca. And then I was like, let me Google. Oh, the coca means
Uh,
it's a bread pizza e focaccia thing with stuff. That makes
and
sense.
I so just as an intro to this, it is kind of like a flatbread pizza focaccia, like you just said. It is some kind of sort of thinner bread in often rectangular shapes with rounded corners, kind of,
Hmm.
and it's kind of the one I found though was completely crispy, had nothing on it. It was called coco sal, which of course I think it had a bit of salt on it, so it was so crispy you could just break it. And that was something that you would then like dip into hummus or maybe or something like that, I think. And
Hmm.
it had nothing on it. So this is a type of bread or a type of bread with toppings that you get all over this region of Spain, plus the Balearic Islands, Catalonia, Aragon area. And
Hmm. In Eastern Spain, as we
Eastern
could say.
Spain, we could say that. Yep, very
Hmm.
exactly. And I will say it took me longer than you to figure out what it's called because out in the boonies here, there is not a sign to be had in a bakery.
Well,
Like
why
if
would there be? Because you've lived there a million years and your family's lived there a million years. You know
right,
how much everything is, what it's called, and what it
right,
costs.
there's no reason for it. So I
Right.
literally don't know what anything is called other than the croissants, like that I've
You're
seen
like, oh, that
before.
looks good. You just point, right? You just look
Right?
and point. Yeah.
But all these other things, I just point to the thing and say whatever the thing is that's on it and ask for it. So I literally had no idea these things were even called cocas, and I've been eating them for 5 years. So, and they are very good, actually, I will say.
Right, and they come in savory and sweet, right?
Hmm.
So you find ones with have like vegetables and maybe a piece of cheese. It's not a pizza with like cheese spread over the
No.
top, but it might have a decoration of cheese, right? It might have
So that's again where yours are more fancy in the city, I think. Like in
ah,
all the bakeries around here, I've maybe seen like three or four different types. There's like a tomato based one, which might have tuna or olives on top. And
okay.
then I found one in a bakery here that is literally the only place I've ever seen it, which is a mushroom one, and it's so good, but I've never seen it
Mm.
anywhere else. And then all the sweet ones, which are delicious, and they're also quite pretty. So they're a really good thing to bring, like as like if you're going to someone's house for like lunch or dinner or something, because they are
Mhm.
like really delicious. But we don't have a massive variety of people doing really creative things. I think we're much more traditional outside of the city, and you probably
Mhm.
in a lot more competition in the city and a lot more people coming from different areas and doing whatever they want with them, I think.
And it's the city, and we have the chef owned. We have the people who've
Right.
returned to Valencia after studying abroad and bringing their crazy newfangled ideas to
Crazy.
the city. But there's one that there's a bakery in our neighborhood that puts asparagus and brie and like little chunks of Spanish
Oh,
sausage on it. And so, I mean, I don't care if that's breaking norms; it is delicious.
that sounds really good. I think I will have to take a trip into the city and try some of the ones you have. It's pretty standard out here, other than this mushroom one that I found. But
Hmm.
yeah, I would say but delicious. So lunch, dinner, snack, breakfast. I mean, they put tomatoes on. They put this tomato. What would you call the like puree tomato? I
Yeah,
think
I
is
think they
what it
call it like
is.
a pisto because you see the empanadas, the pisto empanadas, and that's with that tomato
Yeah,
pasty kind of filling. And I've seen those too. That it's just like a
yeah.
light smear on top, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
cooked. It's not like saucy per se, right?
Yeah,
It's
no.
more. It
Yeah.
coats it. Yeah, I
And
like
they do love
those.
that because we have the tostadas here, which is also that is different. It is a piece of bread with something on top, and that's a sort of a very breakfasty thing, which is maybe a half a baguette sliced, horizontally, and then they toast it, and then that has like a smear of like puree tomato as well, or hamon or
But that's a
cheese.
fresh tomato. It's not a cooked
That's a
tomato,
fresh
right?
one. So that's fresh, right? And then
Yeah.
in this one, so it's like kind of similar but it's a
Mhm.
completely different
It's like a
thing.
tomato paste, right? It's
Yes.
that kind of reduced,
Yeah.
delicious
And a completely
umami.
different bread because
Yeah.
this is a very special bread that is a coca dough that is made with water, olive oil, flour, yeast probably. And then if it's
Hmm.
sweet, obviously you've got some sugar in there. So I mean they just have a sweet and a savory version of the dough.
And I had heard, and I could be wrong, I will admit, I had heard that this kind of started like when people were making dough and the dough didn't rise all the way. They then made a flatbread out of it
Hmm.
that would have a little rise give to it and then put other ingredients on it. And that's kind of how it started. I don't know. Have you heard that or am I?
So I wouldn't doubt that because it's not like that's never happened in our house.
Okay.
Where it's like we made this, we put it in the oven, so we're gonna use it. Like, what are we gonna do with this bread that didn't go very as well as it should have, right? I mean,
Hmm.
so that would make sense to me. And then you're looking through the fridge, and it's one of those things where it's like the things that are on the traditional ones are the things that are local to this part of Spain. So it's going to be
Hmm.
olives, it's going to be the tomatoes, and these lots of nuts as well. A lot of
Hmm.
variety of nuts and pine nuts and walnuts, which are, I mean, so good, I think. But I think, generally speaking, things that are like local to this area, not the
Right.
ones that not these fancy schmancy things you have in the city, but for the rest of us,
Well, side note, asparagus is pretty common. That's like the one vegetable you're able to find at many a restaurant, right? Is a
it
little bit of
actually grew
asparagus.
wild like across from our house. So it was,
Oh, did
yeah.
it?
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
But I never found it because I didn't know what the season was. And I would only find out when I saw somebody walking around our urbanization with like a handful of asparagus and like pulling it out of the ground. And of course then you're too late because it's not like, it's not everywhere. You got to like
Right.
be searching for it. So that person got lucky. And I was like, oh my God, it's like wild asparagus, my favorite thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
So
let's talk about bread.
let's talk about bread. So how old
That doesn't grow in the
it
forest,
doesn't, but
bread.
it is one of our basics, right? So
Right.
how old is this coca recipe or the idea of coca as part of the Spanish meal? As far as it goes back, there is in Denia City Hall a receipt from a lawyer who had a picnic, and that receipt refers to two balls of dough used to make bread and cocas. So that is 1627. That's as far back as we have, which is actually pretty far, I think, to have an
Yeah,
actual
that's
receipt for
that's
something.
400 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's hoarding, keeping a receipt for that
I
long.
know. I doubt it's digitized. So that's like literally a paper thing still, probably. And I would say the piece that I found, the coca sal that I purchased that was like a cracker, that was very big. That was probably a good foot and a half long and a big oval.
Oh, so you
And
bought like a whole thing,
I
so it
bought the
was.
whole thing. I don't think that was an option to buy a bit because if you break it, it doesn't break evenly. It starts to break into shards.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so it
Yeah,
was more crackery,
it was
like it was.
totally crackery. Yeah, and then so I don't know what size the other ones that I've seen that are made. They're like the rectangle ones. They're maybe I don't know how long are those. Like they're not terribly
They're
long.
almost like the ones that I've seen here. They're baking them in like a standard cookie sheet size
Yeah,
pan, like cooking sheet pan. So it's I don't know what is that like 18 inches by 12 inches. That kind of like normal cookie sheet size is
yeah.
what I've seen. And the savory one and the sweet ones here, the bakeries I go to, they cut those because they're like the focaccia ones. They're easy to cut. They cut those to size and they're sold by weight at a lot of places. Some
Everything ours too.
places.
Yeah, you can buy. You basically they will just cut you a slice of it, like along, a rectangle along it, and
Hmm.
then they wrap that up. And they do. I will say one of the things I love here is how they wrap everything that you get when you come from the bakery here. You feel like it's your birthday. Like they just wrap everything so
So
pretty.
sweet.
Yeah, I love it. So it's like you're coming away with these beautiful wrapped things. And if you do buy something that has something delicate in it, it has like a little arch in it that they put in to protect it, and then they've tied it up with
Hmm.
bows on top of it with this beautiful paper that has their logo on it. I mean, it is literally Christmas time the way they wrap
Right.
these things up, and I love it. So the same for this, you'll get like a slice. Yeah, you're right, by weight, or you can buy the whole thing. I mean, you can buy the whole thing,
Right.
Just you don't want to piss off the people behind you in
Right.
the
We're like, well, we
bakery.
want the vegetable.
So you better have a good plan for that thing if you're going to buy the whole thing.
And I have to say, I do think it's so special how all the pastries come and like the little tissue, the way they twirl at the end to separate
Yes.
it. It's very sweet. And to go hark back to a previous Poco, I had bought marzipan for October 9th for the girls.
Oh
And I
yeah.
went to a bakery. I didn't buy the prepackaged stuff from like Elkhorn. I went to one of the local bakeries and she wrapped it up like that and then put all this bow and wrapping around it. And I was like,
Oh,
well, this was a much better deal than getting it at Elkhorn because it was so much more
right?
special. And
Well,
then she was like,
yeah.
do you want to buy a scarf? They had a whole row of
Oh my
scarves.
God. So how are you going to wrap that? Well, it's so true. And I think and that one of the benefits if you do buy like a cake or something is it's always wrapped up lovely.
Right. What are your favorite flavors of cocas that you have? Do you have a favorite?
So we have so few out here that again, my favorite is that mushroom and then
Mm-hmm.
as a savory, and that was like very finely chopped mushrooms. It was non-tomato based, which is good for me because I don't eat that. So
Mm-hmm.
it was I don't know what the base was, but it was a mushroom and it was delicious. And then I love the nut sweet ones.
Yeah, that's nice. A little
Yeah.
cinnamon on it too. It's
Oh,
so
that's
nice.
so good. Yeah, what about
There's a
you?
cou- there's a couple in this city that I like, and they do something that like dumbfounds me, and it's the most amazing combination. Is they put like this, like the almost like the patatas panaderas, the sliced kind of scalloped
Oh,
potatoes in olive oil. They put those on top of it and
okay.
bake and cook it that way. So you're getting double starch, you're getting bread
Perfect.
and potato, and it is sublime, and
It's
there's
so
nothing
good.
wrong with it. But you're definitely like, this is my cheat day, I guess. This
This is a
is
bit
not in
much,
any
maybe.
yeah.
Well, I mean, if it tastes that good, what are you gonna do? You know?
Exactly. So, the funny thing, we may have said this before, is that, they'll bring these out extra for like celebrations and
Oh,
different
for
things, but they're
sure.
really around all year too. I
They
mean,
are.
it's
That's absolutely true. But you'll see more of them, I think, because, they are a very traditional, like, dish for people to bring. So as people
Mhm.
are having more celebrations around this time, you will just see more stuff
Right.
at
The
Christmas and
the
Easter.
bakeries are stocking up, so
They
you have
are.
something to
And maybe they
bring.
have more flavors. Now that I am a bit more attuned to what they are and the difference between that and some of these other things that I've seen that I thought were just another thing, I'll be looking and go, okay, they have extra ones at Christmas, maybe. Maybe they have an extra flavor then. I don't know.
Right.
And
And they do make great picnic food and going to the beach food because it's literally a meal on bread and you can just pop it in
absolutely.
your bag, right?
Yeah.
So,
And they were often cooked on outdoor wood fired ovens, of course, like all good food is.
right.
Or should be. And then quickly the name. I mean, we have some options here, but no one can agree on what it is. So we can give them the
Right.
options, I guess, of what we think people, but nobody really
Well,
knows.
we can start with the source from Latin. It comes from cocere. So, or
Hmm.
cocer? I don't know in Latin. You took Latin. Do you pronounce the last E in Latin or not?
What makes you think I did well in Latin?
I didn't say you did well. You did tell me you took it,
I
though.
did take it. Can't tell you. I will say both those options sound good. Yes, so other than the Latin, which I will leave the pronunciation to somebody that knows, other suggestions are that it might have its roots in the word kok, K-O-K, which in Dutch, and it has the same connection to cake in English or Kunchen in German. So they're all coming from the same place, definitely.
The same
The
root,
same
as it were.
root, yeah.
Yeah.
So how they all came about and what came first and what came after what, it's anyone's dream. Shall we end in a scandal?
Well, I mean, I think we have to. Why don't you start the scandal for us?
Well, there are words in certain places that say that possibly this came before the pizza.
Right. Isn't that the because it wouldn't be Spain if we didn't promote that everything originated in Spain.
Right,
Right.
exactly. Which I love. So, a student from Alicante University did a thesis that argued that the Italian dish did not exist until the conquest of Naples in the 15th century. So, and we had the coca before that. So, you know,
Okay, but we have to also tell who's the name of who's the name of the king of Aragon at the time, because I think it's befitting Alfonso the Magnanimous.
oh,
Like, I mean, that is perfect to be like, no, we invented pizza
we
from
invented
Spain.
everything. Very good point. Yeah. Well, I mean, there you go. I mean, I think and you have, like you said, you've seen some with cheese on, but not to the extent that they look like a pizza,
Right,
right?
like the difference is like, so they really do look like a focaccia to me. The ones I've seen,
Hmm.
because I've seen the thicker ones, I've seen the thin ones too, the more crackery ones. But the difference between it, why it looks more like focaccia than pizza, is there might be cheese as an ingredient, but it's not spread on the top and melted like a pizza,
Right.
right? So that I
Yeah.
think is what the big
That
difference
is a big
is.
difference. And I have seen a lot of them that look more like a pizza size, height,
Hmm.
where it looks more like that kind of pizza. But then again, still, the Italians obviously elaborated on the whole thing, even if it was an idea,
They may have perfected it.
they
I will say
perfected
that. My
it.
name is Gaetano. I can take pride in both.
Yeah, you have to. That's all we know about cocas. That's all I know about cocas.
That's all I do. But I will end this with, um well, I'm going to stick with that. Spain invented it,
Hmm.
but it is a flatbread that is enjoyed throughout the Mediterranean region in different ways. So
Yes.
you'll find the similarities in northern Africa and
Yeah.
into the Middle East, up and throughout all the
France,
coasts.
Belgium, everywhere it seems to have. Even England has little pies with bread. So yeah, it's everywhere.
All right, ciao.
Ciao. Thank you for listening to Our Spain Poco a Poco. Since you love us so much, please do go on to our social media and follow us and like us and subscribe where you're listening, because it really does help us to grow and stick around and do what we are very much enjoying doing.
And give us a shout out on the social medias. Give us a comment on what you would like to hear us talk about. I mean, we like to hear ourselves speak, but we do want to make this, informative for our listeners.
Absolutely, yeah. You can comment on one of our posts, or you can send us a message through our Spain Facebook page or Instagram. So we would love to hear from you.
Yes, we would. Till the next episode.
Bye.